this would work. I'm going to introduce each of them, just give you the title of their book, and then we will start here at Adam Chester, and we will move down, and they will speak briefly about their book, and then we will open up for Q&A. Okay? First, we have Adam Chester.
This is about a private investigator who's asked to look into a wealthy, possibly cheating wife, but the wife's girlfriends have other ideas. Because as they say, a friend will help you move, a good friend will help you move a body.
But Jim, talk to us a little bit about how you would define noir, and then why you think that Los Angeles and the location for your short story in Los Angeles Noir, which is the LA River, is a particularly good setting for a dark crime fiction.
But for me, the sort of the quintessential part of it that feels the most noir is that that area from essentially sort of Glendale-ish, like in through Echo Park and Silver Lake and Elysian Park, through downtown, sort of like right under the eyes of Chinatown. There's something really just, in my opinion, magnificent about this monstrous force of nature that has been shackled like a dragon, like chained down in the middle of Los Angeles. I mean, it's right there, and so people often do things like what I feel like a lot of people in Los Angeles do. They overlook it. They think of it only in superficial terms, and most importantly, they underestimate.
Speaking of LA as the character, but also obviously the notion of people in noir stories. Jim was talking about the characters in noir stories invariably are on this sort of spiral, but the great thing in a noir story is the characters themselves don't see themselves in that downward spiral. In fact, they believe they're doing everything that's going to bring them over. That whatever their goal is, their object is, and usually it's a small goal. And noir works because it's really a human scale. It isn't a thriller. It isn't about taking over the world. It isn't like Dr. Doom or whatever. It's really just a very small thing they want to accomplish. And usually it's always great in a noir story where it's always like a kind of odd amount of money. It's never like, $3 million. It's always like $1,400,000, and that's the amount they've got to get because for whatever reason, that's how it worked out. But in a noir story, as Jim said, that, they know they should go left and they go right. They know they shouldn't go down that hallway and open that door, but they go down that hallway and open that door. But they themselves think they've got it. They've got it. They're on top of these things. It's just one step away. It's just one move away from realizing their goal, from getting over whatever it is they're planning. But of course, we can see as the reader, no, you moron, that really isn't going to work out the way you think it is. But the beauty of it is that because you're in your character's head, they're on it. It's just a matter of time before I'm on easy street, before this thing happens, that's going to go my way, and everything's going to be lovely. And of course, invariably, things don't turn out the way they meant.
It's a book that covers a lot of different ground. It's kind of a father-son story. It's the story of a journalist. It's the story of a Little League commissioner. It's the story of a single dad looking for love in all the wrong places. But it's also ultimately a memoir of place. And what do I mean by that? I mean that it's about looking at an environment, a really unique, particular universe, and finding meaning from that one place, seeing yourself reflected in that place or defined by that place, as opposed to just a major event in your life or a tragic experience or something like that. And my place happened to be this part of LA that I think LA and generally is a very misunderstood place from the outside. There's all sorts of myths and stereotypes that kind of skew people's view of things.
You know, I wrote a whole book about my family. It is my first book on Gold Mountain. It really traces this whole family history. But I just want to add a couple of things. I just got to about page 47 there. My great-grandfather lived to be 100 years old. He had 4 wives, one of whom obviously was Caucasian. That's the family that I'm descended from. He used to sell tickets to see his stuffed mermaid. He was the first Chinese in America to own an automobile. He had 12 children, the last born when he was in his 90s. Should give you guys something to aspire to. Yeah. So here we are. You come down to today. And he did, one other thing, he did become kind of the godfather patriarch of Los Angeles Chinatown. So when you come down today, you know, more than 100 years later, I have now about 400 relatives here in Los Angeles. There are about a dozen that look like me. The majority are still full Chinese, and then this little spectrum in between. And so how do we identify ourselves when we're growing up? We identify ourselves by the people we see around us. They're our mirror. They're the ones who tell you.
Of the silvery moon, I want to swim, and a honey will sing, loves to honeymoon. That's it. Keep it shining till June. Silvery moon. Your silvery moon will bring love's dream. We'll be struggling soon by the silvery moon. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
We're going on the road. Sunny and Cher. Thank you.
Yeah.